Everyone, I'm Alyssa.
And I'm Brandon. And we're
the
Wagners.
We're a husband-wife duo who travel all around the country since 2021 for Brandon's travel nursing job.
We love hiking, car camping, new cities, and of course, the best food and drink. Along with adventure, we always look for ways to keep our travel budget-friendly.
So pack your bags and join us as we wander together.
Hey YouTube, Brandon here. I am a travel nurse. I travel with my wife Alyssa, who is on the other end of the camera.
Hi.
So we travel the country. Right now we are in Seattle, Washington, making our way south to Van Nuys right now, California, right outside of LA. We have our cars packed, and I wanted to kind of take this time to go through just a brief camper video. If you look through our channel, we can link it below, but we started by camping out of our Highlander here. It's a 2015 Toyota Highlander. I have a really long video where I went through exactly how we made this camper conversion. What I love about our camper conversion is we're able to maintain the full car's functionality. I didn't take out any of the seats. Unfortunately, it does cut into our space quite a bit, but I didn't take out the seats. We just built on top of it. We have a platform bed with storage underneath. So I can walk you back there, and I'll show you the start of that. So we built that up, and then we bought a Prius, and we ended up camping in that, but it's worked out really well. So let me show you how we kind of converted that to our needs. So right now, please ignore all of the junk on top, but this is everything that we own, everything that we live with right now, and this is what we're traveling with. So right now our house is empty, we are moving tomorrow, and I wanted to show you how we're able to travel the country, camp in our car, and keep everything with us. So we have this platform bed. We have everything that we own on top of the platform bed, and it's able to fit everything. It is a bit tight, and we do have some more storage on top of the Prius, but everything fits. And what I love about this setup is that it's still very maintainable to have our storage for everyday use as well. So you can see, and again, make sure you check out the build for this, because I'm not going to go as in depth right now with the Highlander, but we have a build video for this. But what I love is we have all of our daily storage stuff in here. So this is a little, right now it's a cutting board, it's a tabletop for cooking, but when I lift this up and go underneath, I apologize if that's making a loud noise on your ends, you can see we have all of our cooking utensils. So we have our toilet paper just in case. We have our cooking utensils, our pots and our pans, our coffee, and then back here, underneath here, we have our camping stove. So we have everything that we need. We have our emergency supplies in the case of an emergency, and we're all set up. We have our clothes underneath the front part of the bed. Again, part of the mess, but pretty easily accessible. I just lift this up. Right here are all of our clothes. So not too bad to get to. Totally separate from the rest of our storage. And we're able to have a ton of storage there. So that's about as much as I want to show you the Highlander. Once again, check out the build video. There's a lot of details on the specifications, the lumber we used, how we built it. But that's not really what this is about right now. So what I want to show you is how we switched from having the Highlander to now having the Prius. And what I love about the Prius is that it's a hybrid, get great fuel economy. It's all-wheel drive. We can go almost anywhere. We got a lift kit on it so that it can go even more almost everywhere. And it's a hatchback, there's plenty of room. And we're able to actually be a little bit more comfortable than when we were staying in the Highlander. Because the Highlander got a little bit close to the ceiling. It got a little bit tight. Here, a little bit less storage, but at the end of the day, you have a lot more sleeping area. So if you go down, you can see we have some twinkle lights on the ceiling, very comfortable. We have, this is literally just a sleeping bag, but we're using it as a, comforter. In the past, we've used a comforter as well. We have a little mattress down here, and then we have some yoga mats that we can pull out to our yoga, or give us a little bit more comfort for our sleeping. Underneath, unfortunately, that's a problem with this specific Highlander. I'm sorry, this specific Prius. Some of the newer Priuses and the older Priuses have a little bit more storage and a spare tire. Underneath here, there's very little storage, but we do have a few essentials down there. And where we have most of our storage right now, it's kind of empty, is behind the front seats. So if we're just using the Prius, what we do is we get those bins, we put them underneath the seats. We have a cooler on the other side, makes a platform for us to sleep. But what we also like about it is then it's extra storage for us. We have the bag on top. It's not very accessible as far as getting things in and out, but it's extra storage for us that we'll take out once we get there. Let's see, we have a power inverter going into our cigarette outlet just for small items. We have, this is a pretty stock car. There's not a lot that we had to do to it, and that's kind of what I like about it. I don't have a big build, and we're able to just kind of have a comfortable sleeping. I think I skipped over it. So the reason that I love being a hybrid, in addition to the fuel economy, is because of the ability to just charge the batteries and let the car running while we sleep. So the biggest advantage is I don't need to worry about the weather where we are. We can set the temperature in here to whatever we want, leave the car running, and what we'll do is it only uses about a gallon of fuel to be able to leave the car running and set the temperature and use the electricity as much as we want. So that is a huge advantage for us. We do all these cross-country road trips. We're not sure what the weather will be. In here, we're covered. So it is already dark, so I'm going to show you inside, but I almost forgot to tell you about our window covers. So this is our second try. The first ones that we did on the Highlander, and there were two things that I did on those that weren't as ideal, that we ended up improving when we made the ones for the Prius. So for the Highlander, what we did was I just kind of went out there with a big piece of Reflectix. I cut it to a manageable size. I held it up to the window and I just kind of like cut where I could, the best I could. And they kind of came out not quite perfect. So they do look pretty good, but not quite perfect. And then the other thing that I did was I spray painted it with a black spray paint. Very affordable options. I used a material called Reflectix. It comes in rolls. You can get it on Amazon for like 20 bucks. It's not a big deal at all. It's really cheap. They use it for like insulation on, oh gosh, I'm not even sure. The nice thing about it is that it's shiny. So it'll reflect the sun away from your car if you don't care about stealth. So I just, on one side I did spray paint, and then the other side I had it open. And the rationale was that they're symmetrical on either side, so if I am in the daylight and I don't care about people knowing I'm camping in my car, I have the shiny side out, so a little bit better as far as reflecting the sun and keeping it cool inside. If it's nighttime and I'm not worried about the sun and I want to be stealthy, I don't want people to know that I'm camping in my car, say I'm doing it at like a parking lot or something like that, then what I do is I have the dark side out. Now the problem with the spray paint is you can still kind of see the pattern on the Reflectix a little bit. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's little like circles on here. The spray paint didn't cover that up. So for my second round, when we got the Prius, was what I did, I got pieces of paper. You see, I'm a nurse, so I have a lot of nursing papers laying around. Every time I go to a new assignment, they give me all their stuff. And then when I leave, I get new stuff at the next place, so I don't really hold on to them. But so I got these papers that were just excess for me. I taped them to the window, and then I just drew on it with a Sharpie. So I just basically got Sharpie, and I just traced out the inside of the window onto the piece of paper. What I did was I then carefully pulled that off, keeping everything taped together, pulled it off, and I had one big piece of paper with a line on it. So then what I could do is I could just cut along the line, and then I got something like this. So this is my piece of paper that is traced to one of my windows. And I only need to do one on each side because they're symmetrical windows. I did test that to make sure. So only did one on each side, and then I have a stencil. And for the stencil, I could get 2 different window covers and just cut them out. So that's not the right stencil for this window cover, but then you end up with a window cover like this. So I have my Reflectix, and it is exactly the right size of my window. It's so much more easy to do and more accurate than the other way I was doing it. And the other thing that I changed was I no longer do the spray paint. I bought this fabric at like Joann Fabrics or something like that. And it's just a black fabric. It comes in a roll, same kind of thing, very affordable. Then I literally just stapled it to it. If you wanted to, you could use a glue or something like that. I tried initially, like kind of in addition to, I tried like a glue stick. You need something stronger than that. You know, it's the fabric that wouldn't work. But the staples work quite well. It's going to hold up. But you could also do like a paint on adhesive. But this is all I did. I just stapled them, and when they're in the window, if I have the dark side out, you can't see anything. And if I have the shiny side out, you can see it, but it reflects all the sun. So it does make a big difference if I don't want to keep the car running and or I just want a little bit more privacy. I can put those up. It gives me privacy, keeps the temperature a little bit more consistent. The car's not running quite as frequently. So yeah, that was, I almost forgot to mention, I wanted to make sure to show you. I do want to note, we did end up coming up with 2 car campers. We ended up buying a car. I just want to make sure that it's clear that these are templates and ideas for you. The way that we do it isn't necessarily exactly how you should be doing it. If you're interested in exploring the outdoors and living more of a nomad lifestyle, the best thing that I can recommend for you to do to start is to just go out there with what you have. So it's really fun to watch these videos. It's really helpful to see what other people are doing. These are not by any means the only way to do it. This isn't the right way to do it. It's just ideas to help you along your journey. So what I recommend doing, go out there, see what, you know, with what you have, see what you like, what you don't like, what you need, and then you can improve one step at a time as you find yourself needing more. Try not to just get everything and then have a perfect round the first time, because what you're going to end up doing is you're going to end up buying a lot of stuff that you don't need, having way too much stuff, and then getting rid of it. It's kind of like the trademark of this, is everyone kind of overdoes it at first. So yeah, this is about living with less and enjoying what you have. So stay with those principles. Thanks, guys.